The winning agenda for every Republican is simple. It would include making America energy independent, as it was under Donald Trump again, restoring law and order in every town and every city, peace through strength abroad, the biggest, meanest, toughest, badass military on the face of the earth, free and fair trade, draining the swamp, election integrity, parental choice and control in education, cutting regulations, lowering taxes, securing our border. And let's not forget the protection of your natural rights, God-given rights, constitutional rights and freedoms, which is something that Gavin Newsom seems to know nothing about. Here with more, author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Here's the Deal, former senior counsel to President Trump, Kellyanne Conway. Okay, am I wrong? Is he going to be the new anointed one? I would bet a lot of money that I am correct.
Sean, I sure hope so. I mean, the only difference really between Joe Biden and Gavin Newsom is that Newsom can do a full 30 minutes on the Peloton bike. You're talking about shuffle border versus surf border, but the policies are the same. They're both socialists. They both don't like dealing with Kamala Harris. And I think the age difference is irrelevant when you talk about the policy similarities. Everything woke Joe Biden is trying to do in Washington, D.C. with one-party Democratic rule, Gavin Newsom either has tried to do or has succeeded in doing in woke one-party Democratic rule in California. But what is his greatest export? He's against oil and gas. He's against fracking in California. Newsom, of course, opened Hollywood before he opened your children's schools in California. You pointed out quite cogently all of the hypocrisy and the hubris that has marked his career. And by the way, Sean, people should know all across this country, Gavin Newsom's elected career started in 2004. Here's a guy who's been in public office, taxpayers you've been funding for everything you see that he has, for 18 years. And now he's going to run for president. I also think this is a bit of a slap at Kamala Harris, who is the highest-ranking Californian in the country, in the federal government, obviously. And it's a little bit of a slap at Andrew Cuomo, because he was sort of the it governor of New York until he resigned in disgrace. So now you have Gavin Newsom. What I think is fascinating, Sean, is the ad that Gavin Newsom is running in Texas. He literally starts out with, "Our Creator gave us life." I'm sure there are a lot of people out there in California and otherwise in the anti-religion Democratic Party saying, "What's all this God talk, dude?" And then he's talking about gave us life, and then he does some sort of snarky and barky stuff against Governor Abbott. But notice how Gavin Newsom does not yet have the courage to go and run these ads in so-called blue states with Democratic governors, like Michigan or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. I don't think they're blue states. I think they're purple states. But they do all have Democratic governors. He's trying to raise his profile and raise some money and raise a lot of hackles off the backs of successful Republican governors like Texas's Greg Abbott and Florida's Ron DeSantis.
Who else do they have?
Oh,
think about it.
It depends what the criteria
It's not Mayor
are.
Pete. It's not Kamala. It's not Joe. So they're the top three. Who will they turn to? I'm predicting tonight they'll turn to him. Do you think?
Well, he's going to be one of them.
Right? What?
I think the odds are right that Gavin Newsom will be in the mix because he will say, "I'm a chief executive, I'm a governor, I haven't been part of the dysfunctional Washington swamp with one-party rule where absolutely nothing got done." But here's the difference. I think he's a governor. When you're a governor, Sean, when you're a chief executive, you have to own and eat all of your policies, whether you're Biden in Washington or Newsom in California and Sacramento. If you're a senator like an Amy Klobuchar, who's going to come off as Minnesota nice, who's going to be a woman who can actually speak well, Kamala Harris cannot, who's not damaged goods like Elizabeth Warren or Hillary Clinton,
okay,
then, you can probably say, "I tried."
We'll put down a marker. You say it might not be him. I say the odds are he's the heavy favorite right now, but time will tell. Kellyanne, congrats, by the way, on the book being #1.
But I think that's great. Let's run against him. Thank you.
I'm fine with it. I'm not. Doesn't worry me one bit. If America wants Gavin Newsom, then America wants failure, because that's what California has done. It's failed. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.